Anderson, chiropractic. I'm super excited to welcome all of you to a class that I believe will make a huge impact on the enjoyment of your life and in the lives of your family. I want to talk to you about how you can live well for life. The fact of life is a majority of you or your kids will live to 100 years of age. That's awesome. Unless all we're doing is laying in bed and breathing. If I'm alive, I want to be able to live well my entire life. What about you? And I already know what some of you are thinking. You're saying, wait a minute, I want to live well, but for 100 years? That's pretty far out there for me considering I'm nowhere near 100. And I get that, but it is time to start thinking about what it means for you and your family to live a long time, because you probably will. Let's take a look at some facts. So in the year 1900, the average lifespan was 49 years old. And there's no question that this was due to the fact that people died much younger back then. We didn't have the cures and we didn't provide the health care that we provide today. But that's exactly everyone's chances of living a long and healthy life was much less back then. In fact, the average lifespan today is 82 years and growing. In a recent study done by the United Nations Department of Social and Economic Affairs, studies show that by the year 2050, there will be over 3.6 million people living above the age of 100 and many living to 150. So what does this mean? This means that your kids need to worry more about how to live well for the first 100 years than they need to wonder how they're going to spend their inheritance. Because you're probably going to live so long that they themselves will be retired by the time they even get your inheritance. So yes, this is a topic you and your family need to know about. Since the odds are so high that you and your family will live for 100 years, we want that long life to be a quality life. We want to be able to live, to travel, to work, and to play on this planet. We don't want to literally spend 40 years of our lives unable to move. We want to be able to have a quality life. We want to be able to have a quality life for the rest of our life. Okay, so now that we are for sure going to live to the age of 50, what happens after 50? So long life reveals that we will have some major areas of health concern after the age of 50 if we don't do something before the age of 50 to prevent those problems. These are health concerns we didn't worry about in the past because we didn't live long enough to experience those health concerns and then make them a priority. For example, we are continually confronted with mental diseases like Alzheimer's, and all of our families have had to face this. Majority of our families have had to face this. But this disease didn't just start in the last 10 years. We're just seeing it a lot more because we're living long enough to see the effects of it. So some other things that we can see changing, we're taking better care of our skin. Old age has brought about a huge growth in cosmetic surgery, and more people are trying to correct the wrinkle problems that just come with growing older. So the biggest problem that we have seen with an increased lifespan is the increase in musculoskeletal problems. In other words, your mobility function. We can't move around like we used to. Our world is now filled with canes, walkers, stair lifts, walk-in showers, and handicap parking spots. And we are the first generation to witness the ramification of growing older. We are seeing these results reveal that we have neglected our spine. We haven't taken the precaution to protect and preserve our musculoskeletal system. So let's take a look at some of these findings. An amazing fact, the most common functional disease in persons 50 years or older are spinal disorders. Now this is because a majority of our population has done nothing to prevent spinal disorders. Most people I think that most people don't want to live past 50 because they aren't taking precaution to prevent these issues before 50. Skeletal disorders. So let's past the age of 50. Awesome, and statistically, you are right. Studies show that yes, you will live a long time, and you need to try and fix the issues that's going to come with your mobility.